Today, we're setting out to completely demystify exactly how the 2026 YouTube algorithm actually works. If you've ever spent days pouring your absolute soul into a project, only to hit publish and feel like your content is at the total mercy of some cold, unpredictable machine, well, you are definitely in the right place. We're going to peel back the curtain and break down the exact mechanics of how YouTube distributes content today. And honestly, much more importantly, we're going to explore how to build a winning, highly structured maker strategy around it, so you literally never have to rely on luck again. Okay, so let's jump right in by busting a really common myth. Is there actually just one YouTube algorithm? The short answer? No way. When creators get frustrated and complain that the algorithm hates them, they're usually picturing this single giant brain making all the decisions for the whole platform. But YouTube isn't just one monolithic system. It's actually a super complex, interwoven network that processes over 80 billion individual signals every single day across several distinct surfaces. It's really less like a single bouncer at a club and more like an entire city's traffic control system. And understanding that distinction is absolutely crucial because a staggering 70% of all watch time on the platform now comes directly from algorithmic recommendations. Think about the gravity of that number for a second. That is the vast majority of human attention. That watch time isn't coming from active searches. It's not coming from loyal viewers clicking on their subscription feeds. It's coming from the algorithm actively serving content up to viewers who didn't even know they were looking for it. If you don't understand the mechanics of the machine doing the serving, you are missing out on a massive chunk of your potential audience. So here's our roadmap for this explainer. First, the 5 YouTube algorithms. Second, satisfaction over simple clicks. Third, the shorts testing ground. Fourth, the help, hub, and hero framework. And finally, consistency and the click. All right, let's dive into section 1, the 5 YouTube algorithms, uncovering home, suggested, search, subs, and shorts. When we look at this macro level view, what's really fascinating is that each surface has a fundamentally different goal. They honestly aren't talking to each other as much as you'd think. The home feed looks at a viewer's long-term watch history and broad interests. So yeah, those random late-night deep dives into competitive woodworking, they will absolutely follow you for weeks. But suggested videos, those are the ones popping up next to or right after what you're watching. They're tailored entirely to your current watching session. The algorithm there literally just wants to keep your immediate session going. Meanwhile, search is entirely intent-driven, prioritizing tight keyword relevance and spoken audio matching. So the big takeaway here is that what gets you millions of views on search won't necessarily get you recommended on the home feed. You've got to know precisely which surface you're targeting before you even hit record. Moving on to section 2, satisfaction over simple clicks, the 2025 and 2026 paradigm shift. This brings us to what is probably the most critical platform update we've seen in years. In 2025, YouTube totally moved away from raw metrics and shifted to what they call satisfaction-weighted discovery. Basically, this is a recommendation model that measures whether viewers actually felt their time was well spent, rather than just tallying up if they clicked and watched. The algorithm now acts way more like a matchmaker, trying to ensure a genuinely high-quality viewing experience. It's a real game changer. The contrast here is night and day, and it changes the whole shebang when it comes to structuring a video. For the longest time, the old metrics were pretty much all that mattered, right? Clicks, views, raw watch time. It was a very binary, sheer volume game. Actually, scratch that, it's not even a numbers game anymore. Under the new paradigm, YouTube is layering on incredibly sophisticated qualitative signals. They're using machine learning to predict user satisfaction surveys. They're actively using sentiment analysis on your comment section, which means a video with an overwhelmingly frustrated comment section might actually see its visibility tank no matter how many views it has. They also heavily measure long session retention, figuring out if the viewer stays on YouTube for hours after watching your video or if they just close the app entirely. Because of this massive shift, cheap clickbait is practically dead. If you trick someone into clicking and they leave unsatisfied, the algorithm will ruthlessly bury that video. All right, section 3, the shorts testing ground, understanding the short form system. Let's shift gears and talk about short form content, because it operates like a completely different beast. Before we even get into the hidden mechanics, we have to respect the sheer scale of what we're talking about here. 200 billion. That's the average number of daily views happening on YouTube Shorts right now. 200 billion times a day. It's an absolutely unignorable volume of human attention, and you definitely need a strategy for it. But here's the catch. Shorts don't run on the satisfaction algorithms we just talked about. and they certainly don't run on search algorithms. They run on a very clean, incredibly fast two-step model known as